Welcome back, my awesome students, in our course in Readings of Major in English. Dr. Fatma Zahra Salim with you, a professor in the Faculty of Education at Ain Shams University in the Foundations of Education Department. And today is the second lecture about the key approaches to reading texts. And today we will discuss the first approach, and in the forthcoming lectures, inshallah, we will study the rest of these approaches. So we take these approaches in many lectures, and we will present today the first approach only. Let us see the matter. First of all, what's approach? Approach means a method or technique or strategy that you can use to analyze the text very well. And the key here means important. So what's the important or the key approaches to reading texts perfectly or properly according to the context of the community, of the state, of the scope or domain or field of study of your topic? First of all, we need to use the cognitive approach. Cognitive, something related to your thoughts, your ideas, your thinking types or thinking processes that you use to analyze the text and get a lot of information about your text or about your topic that belongs to a specific domain or a specific scope, such as the philosophy of education belongs to the domain of foundations of education or the field of foundations of education. So you should know very well the subject in your hand and the domain and the scope or the field that this subject or this topic or this issue belongs to. First of all, you need to know the previous knowledge, your previous knowledge or your prior knowledge about or background about the topic under discussion. So, in order to understand your text very well, in order to get information from your text very well, you should first of all analyze and organize the previous knowledge or the prior background on the subject and the domain of the subject that this subject belongs to. So you must have a prior background on the subject you are reading and the field to which it belongs. If this subject or whether artistic, scientific, literary, political, economical, religious, philosophical, or social. So you should determine the field of study that your subject or your issue or your topic belongs to. And you should organize and activate and update your background knowledge. So you need to update and activate this background knowledge by reading new texts and new books or references or back to new references about the topic and the scope of your topic, right? So this is the idea or the philosophy of the cognitive approach. So how to use the cognitive approach? First of all, you have given information or previous information about your topic. So you need to increase all the information and this previous knowledge or background about your topic or the domain that your topic belongs to. So first of all, seek the keywords. Key means important here. Seek the keywords of the text. And you should search for the meanings or the definition of the keywords in the context according to the context of the text or the environment of the text and the historical background of the writer too. Then searching for the new information. So I have given information and I need to search for new information about the topic or about the issue under discussion and the domain and the scope of the subject too. So searching for new information that you didn't know before about your topic. And you make a comparison or benchmarking or comparing previous information or all the information or the given information on the topic with new information that you will collect from the text, so or deduct from the text. So comparing previous information on the topic with new information. After that, you should create your own concept, create your own definition, create your own understandings, analysis about the topic and write it by yourself. So create your own, because this is very important step, to create your own concepts or definition about the topic and the domain that your topic belongs to. Then view the pros and the cons. Pros means positives and negatives of the readable text. So analyze the advantages and disadvantages of your text, the positives and negatives of your text. This is very important to differentiate between the positives or the key important thing in your text and the things that you don't need to know, and drawbacks of this text to know more about and search for another texts that support your opinion about this text or point of view about your point of view about this text. So you should have your own point of view about the text and put it and write it, put it down and write down all your positives and negatives about the readable text. This is very important key points. This is very important step to show and to present yourself that you understand the text very well, and you understand the topic and the subject that you search for. So this is very important to know the cognitive approach and to search for the new information. In order to collect the new information, you should follow these 6 steps of cognitive approach. Let's practice. So it's time now to practice. Please use the cognitive approach, the previous 6 steps of the cognitive approach, in order to read this text carefully and perfectly by using these 6 steps to search for new information and increase your previous information and the previous knowledge about your topic and about the scope or domain that your topic belongs to. So read it carefully and practice and apply the previous 6 steps of the cognitive approach, and this is your assignment and activity that you should prepare well. Thank you so much for having me in this lecture, and thank you for listening and watching, and see you inshallah in the next lecture and with new approach to read very well your text perfectly and properly. Thank you so much. Dr. Fatma Zahra Salim with you, a professor in the Faculty of Education at Ain Shams University in the Foundations of Education Department. Thank you so much. Bye bye.